Did you know that you can turn your daily toothbrushing into a practice that can help you to be more mindful, calm, help you with your stress and anxiety, and improve your life? That sounds useful, right? Want to learn more? Then stay tuned, because that is what today's talk is all about. Hello everyone, this is Salik and welcome to another episode of the Growth Philosophy Podcast, a bite-sized weekly podcast focused on empowering you to think better and upgrade your life. Here's a brief recap of what we have covered in the podcast so far. If you have been listening to this podcast from the start, then you know that the Growth Philosophy Podcast is all about empowering you to think better so that you can create a better life for yourself. And the key to doing that nearly always, if not always, comes down to your mind. To be more precise, it comes down to the way you think. Because here is the big truth about life and happiness. The way you think, at the end of the day, impacts everything. And I mean everything. Each and every single thing in your life, no matter how big or small, is affected by the way you think. This, of course, is why those who think positively and have a growth-focused mindset tend to have a more positive, successful, and happy life. Mindset is nearly always the difference between someone who has a good life and someone who does not. It's the whole glass half full or half empty debate. The way you think is always important, as it impacts everything in your life. So when someone thinks negatively and has a fixed mindset that gets them more of what they do not want, that is what creates lifelong regrets. But it's not just that, because that sort of negative mindset also results in unfulfilled and unhappy lives. And I know it is not easy to change the way you think. Most of us have spent all our lives operating on a certain set of beliefs. Beliefs that are installed, often without a knowledge or proper understanding of what they entail, during our formative years. We grow up with these ideas and beliefs without exactly understanding what they are or whether they are indeed accurate or not, or even beneficial. This is why most, if not all of us, grew up with believing certain things to be true or right without actually examining whether they are indeed true or right. You know what the really unfortunate thing is? Most people operate on a flawed set of beliefs and do so on autopilot. They operate on autopilot on this flawed set of beliefs, rules, and programs which ultimately do them more harm than good. This is the sort of autopilot programming that gives rise to situations like religious fundamentalism, racism, and all sorts of other negative biases and behaviors. That sounds bad, right? Well, it is. But here is the thing. It is not all bad, because it is not a lost cause. There is good news. Humans are nothing if not adaptable. Humans are incredibly adaptable. Yes, we are incredibly adaptable. Changing your mindset is challenging, absolutely, but it is also very, very possible. So there is hope. Just because you have not learned to proactively use your mind or adopt a growth-focused mindset so far, does not by any means mean that it cannot be done. Quite the contrary, in fact. It absolutely can be done. And you absolutely can improve your mindset. You can change and improve the way you think. And yourself. It takes a bit of work. Takes effort, obviously, in the same way that anything and everything worthwhile in life takes work. It takes work to improve your thinking. Over the course of the talks so far, we have covered several topics to help you on that journey. including the basics like what growth mindset and fixed mindset are, tips and advice on how to adopt a growth-focused mindset, tools and concepts to raise your awareness about your own blind spots and help you examine and improve your thinking, and more. So quite a bit has been covered so far. If you're new to this podcast or have not yet gone through the past episodes, I highly recommend you check them out, as they can really help you improve your thinking and your life. As for today's topic, I want to talk to you today about adopting mindfulness. Most of you know how useful mindfulness is. Mindfulness is a very, very beneficial practice and impacts you in many different ways. I will include some additional resources in the show notes section so that you can learn more about the topic if you need more clarification. But let's talk about the practical aspect of mindfulness. That's what today's talk is all about. And there is a big reason why. So here is a sad fact. Despite knowing about the many benefits of mindfulness, a lot of people, too many people in fact, do not really practice mindfulness, and far more do not practice it regularly. So most people do not practice mindfulness despite knowing the huge benefits. This means that they miss out on all these benefits that they could be having in their own lives. So benefits like a stronger and calmer mind, more happiness and joy in your lives, and so on and so on. There are quite a lot of benefits to mindfulness. But unfortunately, people are missing out on them. After all, how can you benefit from it if you don't even practice it? You actually have to put something in practice and do so consistently before you can benefit from it. Makes sense? So, too many people do not benefit from it because they do not practice it. And I understand why that is, for most of them. Most people do not practice mindfulness or practice it regularly, mainly because adoption of the practice. So it nearly always comes down to actually adopting it as a regular habit. It can be challenging, creating a new habit. It's a new thing, so of course it is challenging, and I completely understand that. So to help you with that, to help make that whole process easy for you, I'm going to make it as simple as possible for you to adopt a mindfulness practice and make it a part of your daily life so that you can practice mindfulness easily and as effortlessly as possible over time. Over time, using the method that I'm going to cover today, my goal is to help you make mindfulness a daily habit so that it becomes an effortless daily practice for you. Does that sound like something you can be benefiting from? Does that sound like something you can benefit from and actually use in your own daily life? Then stay with me, because I'm going to tell you exactly what that process is and how that can help you. So let's get started. So here is a really easy way, an easy method for you to start practicing mindfulness. Do it while you're brushing your teeth. That probably sounds a bit strange, right? Well, do not let that get in the way, because this method, despite how odd it sounds, can make it easy for you to not just practice mindfulness, but actually create a daily habit out of it. So, yes, it sounds maybe a bit odd, but it can really help you adopt and practice mindfulness on a daily basis. So here is how it would work. Here are the step-by-step breakdown of how the whole process would work. So when you're brushing your teeth, focus on just that. Feel how the bristles glide and move over and under your teeth. feel how they are scrubbing your teeth. Feel that for each and every tooth. Every ridge, bump, the gum line, the gums, all the details. Really feel it, really take it all in. Feel the pressure and how they vary from tooth to tooth. Feel what the toothpaste feels and tastes like. I want you to totally focus on brushing your teeth and how the toothbrush and the toothpaste feels. Do that, practice it like that, and you will be well on your way to brushing your teeth mindfully. This practice will help you become more mindful of your toothbrushing. And as a bonus, practicing this will also help you get a thorough toothbrushing, which is great for your dental hygiene and overall health. So, win-win-win scenario. Your teeth get a thorough clean, and you practice a new skill, which in turn will be good for you in many different ways. Mindfulness, after all, is good for you for lots of different reasons. You brush your teeth every day, so combining mindfulness with your toothbrushing is an easy way for you to adopt this new habit or practice. Your 2-minute toothbrushing habit this way will become a lot more effective, as you will be more thorough, and at the same time you will be trying out a new habit, the mindfulness habit. This is a small action, a very small action that can give you a big positive result. Actually, big positive results, because there are lots of benefits that you will get from it over time. And I love that sort of return on investment, where you invest a little for big returns. Who doesn't, right? I mean, who doesn't like getting big return on their investment? So think of this as a big return on your investment. You're spending 2 minutes a day, but over time this will add up. And you're combining a mindfulness practice, which will help your mind and body in many different ways. Being mindful while brushing your teeth is just an example, of course, of how you can practice mindfulness easily on a daily basis. But does it have to be brushing your teeth? Of course not. You can practice being mindful while doing other things too. Things that you do daily without a miss. So, for instance, if you work out daily without miss, then you can combine mindfulness with that. Do you go for a walk every day? That will be a great one to practice mindfulness with. How about cooking? Do you do that every day? Why not try practicing mindfulness while cooking? You can combine it with anything, really. You can combine it with your daily meals, like your breakfast, lunch, or dinner. The sky really is the limit to what you can combine mindfulness with. You can combine it with whatever works for you. The point is, you can be mindful for everything, no matter what you do. So combine it with whatever works for you. Toothbrushing is basically a really simple way for you to adopt mindfulness with. Using mindfulness while brushing your teeth is I would say possibly one of the simplest ways for you to adopt the mindfulness practice, because it is something that you do every day, and actually nearly all of you do it without even thinking about it. It's something everyone does every day without fail, and it's a really small thing that you do for a small amount of time, which makes the whole thing fairly effortless. I know practicing mindfulness for long periods of time, in the beginning especially, can be quite challenging, but a 2-minute practice is very doable, won't you say? The short duration and automatic habit makes toothbrushing an easy activity, an easy habit to combine your new practice, your mindfulness practice with. This will, with daily practice, make mindfulness a habit for you, which is ultimately what you want, as that is the best way to benefit from mindfulness. Mindfulness is a state of mind, one that you will get better at adopting and using the more you practice it. Think of it like any other new skill. The more you do it, the better you will get at it, and the easier it will get. So combine it with something, anything, no matter how big or small the activity. It does not have to be toothbrushing. You can go with whatever works for you. What activity or existing habit you combine mindfulness with is not as important as actually practicing it and doing it regularly. And here is something else that I want you to remember. Something that will help you with not just mindfulness, but any and every habit you want to adopt. When creating a new habit, it's always a good idea to make the adoption of the new habit as seamless and effortless as possible, as that way you stand the best chance of adopting it and regularly practicing it, rather than forgetting about it or giving up on it after some time, which is what usually happens with new habits. We maybe try our hands at a new habit and then either forget it or give up. Gets hard, too much hassle, whatever. Adopting something new and doing it regularly, at least initially, can be challenging. I know. I've been there myself. So combining it with an existing habit will make the new habit a lot easier to adopt and practice regularly. And that's why I'm talking about toothbrushing and combining mindfulness with that. So for mindful toothbrushing, for instance, you will be attaching mindfulness with something you already do every day and do effortlessly. So your toothbrushing is an effortless activity for you. So that makes the new habit, the mindfulness habit, a pretty seamless adoption. And it makes it easy for you to stick with it. So you're brushing your teeth every day and you combine mindfulness with that. And that makes the whole process of adopting your mindfulness habit a lot easier than you trying to do it consciously and separately. So this, of course, is why practicing mindfulness while you're brushing your teeth, or practicing some other daily habit for that matter, can be a great way to create your new mindfulness habit and adopt it easily and practice it regularly. Attaching this new practice of mindfulness to an existing habit will make it infinitely easier for you to create the new mindfulness habit for yourself. So it's basically about working smart, not hard. Stop worrying so much and trying so hard to adopt mindfulness as a habit. It doesn't need to be hard, and it most definitely does not need to be complicated. You can make mindfulness a daily habit, a part of your life, and do that easily. So give it a go. The next time you're brushing your teeth, practice being mindful. Keep doing it, and trust me, before long it will become a habit, ending up with you having a regular practice of mindfulness without actually working hard at it. Isn't that great? You can create this great new habit for yourself, but do it without working too hard. So think about it and actually try to implement it. I would say don't just try, give it a go. Mindful toothbrushing is simple, it is easy, and it is good for you. So you really have no reason not to give it a go. If you want to learn more about personal growth, self-improvement, and mindset, check out the other episodes of the podcast. You can also check out my website for even more resources, including more guides on the topics of personal growth. I hope you found today's episode useful. Let me know how it goes with your mindful toothbrushing habit. I would be very intrigued to know. Also, if you have any questions about what we discussed today, post them on my website or reach out to me on Twitter. But that's it for today. I will catch you again next Monday. Until then, practice mindfulness toothbrushing every day. Seriously, I really want you to give it a go because it can have a big impact on your life over time. Have a great week, everyone, and remember to think better and upgrade your life.